The lost Library of Alexandria, what was actually in it? The Library of Alexandria was founded in the early 3rd century BCE by Ptolemy I Soter, successor to Alexander the Great in Egypt, as part of a larger institution called the Mauseon, the precursor of our word museum. The library's mandate was extraordinary, to collect a copy of every book in the world. Ships docking at Alexandria were searched, and any books found were confiscated and copied. The original was kept by the library, and the copy returned to the owner. The library sent agents across the Mediterranean to purchase or borrow texts. At its height, it is believed to have housed somewhere between 40,000 and 700,000 scrolls. What the library contained is only partially known. We know it held works of Homer, Aristotle, Plato, Euclid, Archimedes, and Euripides. We know it held the original medical treatises of Hippocrates. We know it held works of geography, astronomy, mathematics, natural history, and philosophy. We also know from references in surviving works that many books we no longer have existed in the library. Aristotle alone wrote approximately 200 works, of which only about 31 survive. The lost works of Aristotle alone represent an incalculable intellectual loss. Popular narrative of a single catastrophic fire destroying the library in one night is a historical myth. The library declined gradually over several centuries through multiple damaging events. Julius Caesar's fire of 48 BCE, probably the origin of the single fire myth, burned ships in the harbor and may have destroyed a warehouse containing books intended for the library, but probably did not destroy the main library. The library is mentioned as existing after Caesar's fire in multiple sources. Its decline continued through the late Roman period and into the early medieval period through neglect, reduced funding, and the gradual dispersal of scholars. The library associated with the ancient Mauseon is generally believed to have declined to extinction by the 3rd century CE. But a separate institution, the Serapeum, a temple complex that also functioned as a library annex, continued for longer. The Serapeum was almost certainly damaged or destroyed in 391 CE when a Christian mob attacked it under the direction of the bishop Theophilus. This event, often conflated with the earlier Caesar fire, is the most historically documented single instance of destruction associated with the Alexandrian libraries. But the main collection, such as it still existed, was probably already largely gone. What makes the loss of the Library of Alexandria so painful is not that all the knowledge was destroyed, but that much of it was destroyed unnecessarily. Many works were already rare before the library's decline. They had been gathered precisely because they were not widely available. The library was the single repository of several works that did not exist in multiple copies elsewhere. When those unique copies were lost, they were lost permanently. Aristotle's dialogues, his popular works, distinct from the dry philosophical treatises we still have, are believed to have been brilliant, accessible works that influenced readers in antiquity the way his school treatises never did. They are gone. The loss of Aristotle's dialogues is only the most famous specific loss. We know from references in surviving works that there existed. The complete plays of Sophocles, of which 7 of 123 survive. The astronomical works of Aristarchus of Samos, who proposed heliocentrism 800 years before Copernicus, and whose proofs are lost. The geographical surveys of Eratosthenes, who calculated the circumference of the Earth within 1% accuracy using methods we can no longer fully reconstruct, and the entire mathematical library of Pythagoras. Each loss represents a potential dead end that forced subsequent generations to reinvent knowledge. Some of what was believed lost has been found. The Archimedes palimpsest, a medieval prayer book that was found in 1999 to contain erased text from Archimedes, including a lost work called The Method, was deciphered using multispectral imaging and revealed that Archimedes had developed methods approaching integral calculus 800 years before Newton and Leibniz. This single recovery demonstrated that other works we consider lost might still survive, hidden within later manuscripts, waiting for the right technology to read them. The Library of Alexandria was not burned in a single night. Its contents were not all unique. Its decline was gradual rather than catastrophic. And yet, we lost things that cannot be recovered. The complete natural philosophy of Aristotle, the proofs of Aristarchus's heliocentrism, the full comedies of Menander, the most beloved playwright of antiquity, the medical texts that might have accelerated medicine by centuries. The myth of the burning library is wrong in its mechanics. It is right in its grief. Something enormous was lost over a long time through neglect and violence and the indifference of power. And we are still calculating what we might have had.